Think you muted, cuz. You muted.
God dang, I did it again. All right, let me start over. What's good, Panther Nation? Welcome back to Two Fans in the Stands. I am your now unmuted favorite armchair GM, CJ.
And I'm your favorite couch scout extraordinaire, Tony. What's good, cuz?
Hey, you you tell me, dog. I'm up here talking to my damn self. What is this, like the second or third live in a row I've done that?
Yeah.
But you know what though? I got this little control box over here, and it has a mute button on it, so I don't have to click on the screen if I don't want to. And
Mm.
yeah. So it's definitely on me. Definitely on me. Because how you feeling, man?
Hey, you know me, man. Been kind of bored this week, so I was just making my rounds through other content creators. Trying to shake a little honey from the tree. You know, see if there's a little trouble I can get into. I ain't really find nothing too much, nothing too much, but one thing I can say,
Mm.
boy, misery sure loves company.
Hey, look,
I
hold on.
tell you,
I'm
man.
glad. I'm glad you said that because I remember you was over there with the good fellas of Black Cat Panther podcast. Shout out to them. And you in the comments. And Goat said, "Yeah, Tony, two fans in the stand. Come on up here and talk to us. Two
Yeah.
Bryces in the stand." So my cousin, his response was, "I'm on medication." And then a couple comments later, I'll pass. I was at work. I hollered. I was like, nah, no, he didn't. Then I
Yeah.
looked, I
Well,
said, yes, he did.
hey, shout out the Q and Poppin and my main man Kendall Swiss Cheese Goat. They on their I told you so tour, so I wasn't an invited guest to be on the tour. So I figure I just sit back in the audience and just watch like everybody else and enjoy the show. And that's exactly what I did.
Yeah, hey, but they had a couple good ones this week.
Yeah, yeah,
They
man.
had
Yeah,
a couple good ones.
they had some guest appearances. Probably shouldn't be guests anymore. Hey, I
It
was
was
truly entertained.
it
So
was
so
hey,
so
it was
who?
a good time.
Yeah. So who am I to interrupt the good things that they had going on this week? Hey, do
Hey,
your thing,
but
player.
shout out to them again, man. Those are guys over there. We love them to
Yeah,
death.
shout out to him.
Hey, and everybody who has joined us already, as always, thank you and welcome. All right. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, comment, like the stream, help us out with the YouTube algorithm. Also,
Yeah.
okay, if you're over on Twix, that's a mixture of Twitter and X, as we like to call it. You can check us out at Two Fans ITS. Make sure you hit that follow button. We are steadily on our way to our goal of 1,000 followers over on Twix. And also, we're on our way to our goal of 2,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Okay. So, cousin. All right. So we talked on
Yes, sir.
Monday. Our recap of the Chargers game. Well, to be honest with you, it wasn't really a recap of the Chargers
It
game
really
at all.
it was a vent.
At all.
We were venting.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
venting. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And like we had no slides, like no nothing. We just got
Yeah.
look, I don't never drop the link in the chat that fast. I was just like, hey, everybody get up here, give us your thoughts, tell us what's going on. Then we found out Bryce had got benched that day. So,
Well,
now we back to sort of regularly scheduled programming.
every now and then, cause we need a good therapy session. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I take Monday as a good therapy session to vent, let out our frustrations.
Mm,
Everybody voice their opinions, and hey, hopefully we all felt better afterwards. Now I don't know how
okay.
true that is, but hey, I know I did.
Okay. Cool. Well, me personally, I don't know if I did or not, because you be still on it too. I feel better
Yeah.
Sunday. And then I forgot, games in Vegas. So now I looked at the time, I was like 4 o'clock. And I was like, crap, I had to wait till 4 o'clock for this crap this weekend. I was like, damn it. But, so
Well,
hopefully.
don't be too disappointed. At least you ain't got to get up at 12 a.m.
Well, either way. Either way.
Yeah,
Either way.
yeah.
But yeah, hey, touche. Touche. Like the old
Touche.
Drewski mean, all right, All right, let's get into some comments here. Our good buddy, the third fan in the stand. What's up, Doug? So let's see if we can start exactly at 8 on the dot. Chat, make sure y'all hit the like button as soon as you come in. Yes, please do that, chat. And my response to Doug was 8:01, just for him. I could have started at 8 o'clock, but I started at 8:01 just for Doug.
On purpose.
Yeah,
What up,
Earl,
Doug?
what's going on? How you doing, Earl?
What's
I hope
going
you're
on,
enjoying them
Earl?
headphones, man. I hope they putting them to good use. Mr. Hunky
Yeah,
Doris said,
I heard he got a little extended gift in that box, didn't he?
"Yeah, I threw in a pair of the Panther sunglasses that they gave out at training camp. So another little
Oh,
thank you,
okay.
for thank you for being a friend."
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for
Look,
being a
Miss
friend.
Hunky Doris said, "Friday night and the feeling is right." That made me think of
All right,
what the
Mr. Hunky Dory.
TGIF. What we're like going to have some fun, show you how it's done. TGIF.
Oh God.
It does. Okay, where the fill in the blank. C3 Billy Ambrose, what's going on? It said, love the show and let's hope for a
C3.
dub on Sunday. That's right. Hey,
Hey,
keep
appreciate
pounding.
C3, man. He always retweeting,
Yes,
reposting our videos on Twitch. So
we
I
appreciate it.
see you. Glad we give you a shout out, man. We appreciate it.
Yes, even though I waited until 14 minutes before we went live to actually post it on Twix, but hey, my bad. Antonio McClanahan, what's going on? How
What's
you
up,
doing?
Antonio?
And like you said, yes, like, subscribe, and share the stream, please. Anthony
Yes,
Brown,
sir.
what's
Yes,
up? How you
sir.
doing? All
AB.
right, beat them Raiders 27-24. Panther. Beat them. Let me see. Oh, I got you. I got you. I hope so, Nader. I hope so. I hope so. Dig it. What's
Yes,
up, man?
sir.
Said, what up, fellas? How you doing? Let me see. Doug said, I'm
What up,
chilling in
Diggy?
chat tonight, enjoying some Texas high school football tonight. Let me tell you, all we gotta do is start talking about that wave cap. He'll pop up in here in a minute.
I just want the record show that was not me.
Oh, that was me. That was me.
Yeah.
Hey, Carolina Rush, what's going on? It said Bryce demoted to water boy. Damn, don't do him like that.
What's up, Carolina Rush?
How you
That's
doing?
nasty work.
They just said biggest
That's,
problem with Bryce is he can't read the defense and react to it. And and we'll get into that in a little bit too. But I don't necessarily disagree with that now. After 2 games, I don't, I don't disagree with that. Yeah.
yeah.
Riz B, keep pounding.
What's up, Riz?
He said, Earl Locker, who are your people?
Oh Lord. We got
uh,
cousins, we got family in the
yeah.
chat.
Panther Prime Pie. What's up, the Panthers Pope Podcast? All right, what's going on? He say bishops.
What's up, Prime?
said yeah, they're working good now. I like the Panther shades too. Hey, okay, good. I'm glad you like it. Glad you like it. All right, Deontay. First 2 weeks I had us losing. This week I have us winning by 4. Okay. All
Okay,
right.
Deontay.
I got to see it, man. I got to see it. I gotta see it. I want to see it,
Hey,
but
we hope that prediction comes to fruition, my brother.
yeah. Doug said not bishops. 336 Boston. What's going on, man? How you doing?
3-3.
Eternal
Hey, I want.
252.
Hey,
Oh.
I just want to make sure
Leave,
336. Make sure he okay, man. Hey, I ain't never seen 336 Boston riled up like that, man. I just want to check on you, dog. Just let me know in the chat if you're good. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Something.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Eternal 252. Red rifle. Yeah,
Eternal, what's
hey.
popping?
It's red rifle time, man. Let me
Yes,
see.
sir.
Earl, you ain't kin to that Waffle House where okay. I don't know nothing about that. Moving on.
Yeah. Can we leave chat in their conversations in the chat?
Yeah, I see. Mr. Earl must have figured it out because he laughed. So I'm move on. All right.
Yeah.
Let me see. Got me some Darnell Kendricks playing tonight. Gotcha.
Okay.
Eternal 252 said we can beat Caleb and the Bears. We can beat Jaden. We can beat Jaden. We can go 10-7. Woo, boy. I'm
Ooh.
not I'm
Yeah.
not co-signing on that right now. I'm not
Not on
co-signing
that.
on that one.
That is not the train I'm on.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Wait.
That is not the train.
Look. I had
Where's
to
the
make
ticket
sure
at?
there's my ticket. Okay. There's my ticket. My wife made me this ticket, y'all. Okay. She made me this ticket with her laser. And it says
Oh
all
God.
aboard. The Bryce ain't, let me see, put it up there. The Bryce ain't it express. Okay, for CJ from Two Fans in the Stands, leaving Charlotte on September 15th. Okay,
He
now
got a
mind you,
one ticket one
yeah,
way.
now mind you, that does say Bryce on it. Okay, but I will say it's not it across the board. Okay, but
Oh
I couldn't help. She
god.
came in the house. She came in the house with that about the third quarter of the game. I could not help but
Yeah.
laugh, and I was just like, "Baby, that is hilarious." I was like, "That is
That
funny."
that
Yeah.
that's funny. Tip
uh,
drill. Wait.
Hey,
Oh,
oh,
you
I'm my bad.
oh,
Damn.
so you
Hey, what's up,
good?
Will? How you doing?
Tip drill
I
where?
saw his comment. How you doing, Will? I saw his comment, and then I started talking about the daggone ticket. What's going on, man? How you doing?
What's
336
going
Boston
on?
said, man, I'm ready. He said, I don't know what you talking about. Okay, never mind.
Who you
All
talking
right.
about? Oh yeah.
Oh, got you. Panthers by
Yeah.
10. Okay. All right. All
Okay,
right.
boss.
Got you. Andy will be rusty, but he has the experience and confidence to quickly recover from a mistake or a sudden shift in the defensive scheme other teams use. Let's hope to God so. Oh my goodness, let's hope so. Mm,
Hey, Sunday would tell it all.
man, 10-7 is wild. LOL. Raiders, Broncos, Commanders, Giants, 4 wins. Yeah, because the back half of that schedule is tough. Doug said, "Can you
Well, you know
email me
what?
one, please, and thank you."
That'd be two more than last year.
This is true. This is true. This is true.
That would be two more than last year.
Uh Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, cuz let's go ahead and get into it. All right.
All right.
We'll start off with the injury report. Okay. And so Ashawn Robinson, Lonnie Johnson, and Nick Scott are all questionable with a knee, thigh, and neck injury. Shy Tuttle has been downgraded to doubtful for this week.
So he'd
Doubtful.
probably be
So
out.
he'll probably be out. So from our starting defensive line this year, we have one person left, and that's Ashawn Robinson. Derek Brown is gone for the season. Shy Tuttle is doubtful. So we're going to have a line that consists of what's a man named PV, Ashawn Robinson, and probably like Nick
Jaden
Thurman.
Peavy. Yeah.
Yeah, Nick Thurman or LeBron Ray.
Yeah.
So we'll see
They
what's
all gonna
up.
get some run. They all
Mm-hmm.
gonna get some run. And the thing about it though, even though this is a turbulent time within the organization, we're not looking too good on defense. These young guys who normally wouldn't get opportunity to play, get some valuable reps, to get some
Mm-hmm.
experience going. So hopefully when we do get some of our starters back, and hopefully next year when Derek Brown come back, these guys will have some games up under their belt, and they will add some depth going forward. So it could
Yeah.
be it could be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
trying to remain hopeful here.
yeah. Well, now you got Nick Thurman and LeBron Ray, who got a lot of run last year. So it's
Yeah,
not like they're
yeah,
new to this. You know what I mean? They got in, especially when the defense seemed to be playing a little better down the stretch last year. They got a
yeah,
lot of burn. I always say this. It seemed like you saw Shy Tuttle less and less on the field, and you saw Nick Thurman and LeBron Ray out there more and more. So,
yeah.
maybe now we get to see, well, now maybe, but we will see what they can do because I'm sure they're gonna get thrust in the starting lineup. At least one of them. You know,
Hey, that's all reality right now. There's no more optimism.
yeah.
There's no more positive thinking. I'm just truly thinking on based off of the reality of what I think will happen. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you though. Two more wins ain't much, but it's two more than what we had last year. So
Yeah.
with all that's going on right now, if we could squeak
Mm-hmm.
out 4 wins this year, which was my floor in my prediction, 4 wins was my floor, 7 wins was my ceiling. So if they can
Yeah.
fall somewhere between that 4 and 7, I'm okay.
Shoot, I got my black ass up here and thought we was gonna win 9 to 10 games at one point. That was my ceiling, and I was thinking the floor was gonna be like like 5. So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Look, look at me now.
Hey, Andy might come along and make your dreams come true. Cuz never know. Like you
Hey,
tell me,
I hope so.
anything's possible.
It truly is. It truly is. But I got to see it first. So hey, we'll see what's
Hmm.
going on with that. All right. But oh, and also of note, let me see. Let me pull the screen up here. So for the Raiders, okay, interestingly enough, Max Crosby is questionable for the game.
Yeah, he'll play.
So
If
yeah,
they questionable, they'll play. Especially if they haven't been downgraded to doubtful or out on
hmm
a Friday. Yeah, he'll
yeah.
play.
Like I always say, I don't wish injury on any player, but if he happened to not play this weekend and be good to go for the rest of the season, I ain't got no problem with that. You know,
Got
again,
no problem with it.
again, hey, ain't got no problem with that. All right. So
Mhm.
now let's go to the last matchup that we had with the Raiders. It was here in Charlotte, I do believe. And we lost 34-30. Okay, this was back in 2020. Derek Carr was still their quarterback. We still had Teddy Bridgewater. We still had Christian McCaffrey. You know, this was when Robbie Chosen was here. Well, he was Robbie Anderson back then. You know, had his
Right.
good season. But I mean, it was kind of a back and forth game. Total yards not that much off. We got three. Yeah, excuse me. We got more yards, 388 to 372. No turnovers for either team. 23 first downs for the Raiders, 22 for us. Time of possession was on like a 3-minute difference. But yeah, that was our last matchup with the Raiders. You know, a different time. Okay, that was back in the start
Mhm.
of the Matt Rule era, and COVID and all that good stuff. Okay, so I didn't put all the stats up here because I was just like, you know what, this time just gonna mention it because this has been so long ago. Okay, because this
Right.
a completely new coaching staff, completely new rosters. Like
Both
it
teams.
ain't. Yeah, it's not too many
Yeah.
people still on both teams. Shaq Thompson, hell, Derek Brown. You know what I mean, but he's hurt. So, but all right.
Right.
So let's go ahead and move on here. Oh, anything you got you want to say about this last matchup before I move on?
No, I don't remember too much about it. I do know that 2020, I think that was Robbie Anderson's first year with the
Mm-hmm.
Panthers, and I think he went over 1,000 yards
Yep.
that year. And yeah, Josh Jacobs did have 3 TDs against us. So yeah,
Yep. Hey, look,
yeah.
memories, all we have. Exactly. Exactly. Memories.
Yeah.
God. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So I think we go ahead and talk about this first before we get into the rest of it. So, as you all know, Bryce Young has been benched. He is QB2, running the scout team in practice. Andy Dalton is our new starting quarterback. Okay. And I want to make sure I brought this up because, from here on out, I don't think I'm not going to dwell on I'm not going to dwell on Bryce Young. I'm not going to try to kick him wildly down or anything like that. But I do want to get your thoughts, Tony, just on a few things. Now,
Okay.
as the week has gone by, I keep hearing, and this is from a lot of the national media, a lot of ex players, and like Mel Kiper and people of that nature, and they're all of them,
First of all,
even Cam Newton.
I, I don't want to be associated. I mentioned Mel Kiper's name. He is on the ban list for this week. He is in timeout. I
Oh,
am not.
look at here. Look at here. That's my barber, y'all. That's Barber T. Some
Oh,
Raiders,
that's
Raiders, Raiders. Oh, now you want to show
oh,
up. Oh, okay. Now you want to
okay.
comment, dog. Hey, but he a big Raider fan. Hey, shout out to T, man. Look, hey,
Yes.
look. Call me in a couple hours. Tell me if you got a spot for me tomorrow, dog. I need to come and get all this cut off.
What's up, T?
But yeah, okay. So a lot of the national media, the one thing that's consistent for them, except for a few, they're like,
Mhm.
this is not a Bryce Young thing. This is not his fault. Okay, the organization has failed him. All right. Now, if you talk to Panthers fans, all right, our fellow Panthers content creators, all right, I think you will get a different story. And the more that I thought about this week, okay, I've come to the conclusion now. A lot of us, not all of us, okay, because we were really split on this last year. A lot of us, myself included, were like, okay, last year was a train wreck. Okay. Bad offensive line play. You know, people are kind of split on the defense. I didn't think the defense was as good as the number showed. Okay, and me personally. So you know, me and you, Tony, we were always like, hey, we're going to go into this year, see what he can do. New coach, new offense, new scheme. Okay.
Mhm.
I think we can agree that the offensive line is performing way better through 2 games than it did all of last year. Can we not?
Yeah, yeah, facts. Big
Okay.
facts.
They have added weapons. Okay, we got Deontay Johnson. We drafted Xavier Legette. Let me see. Who else did we bring in as far as wide receivers? Well, we brought in David
I
Moore.
mean, as far as starters, that's it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. Dig it. Hey, just calm down, killer. I'm trying to make a point here. Calm down. Calm down. All right. Okay, so and we always said we want to see it, you know, on the field. All right, through two
Yeah.
games, we have not seen it on the field. Okay, so my question is, you got Bryce out here, first play of the game and a first play of the season for him, interception, overthrowing players, interception, missing wide open players. Okay, out here he runs into
Mhm.
the back of his offensive lineman and gets tackled. He's holding on to the ball. He takes a sack when he could have threw the ball out of bounds, and possibly we could have got Panero out there to make a field goal. Okay, so my question,
Mhm.
at this point, does it even matter, you know, who we putting the blame on when we got this product that we've seen on the field for these 2 games? If you get what I'm saying, like he had his chance to come out here and say, "Yep, it was exactly everything that you know people have been defending him for. It was the O line, it was the coaches, it was this, it was that." Okay, he had 2 games to come out here and show us something, and he showed us 161 yard performance with what 3 interceptions or 2 interceptions and an 80
Mhm.
something yard performance with an interception. Okay, so my thing is like at this point, you know, because there are a lot of people that's like, oh, it's not his fault, it's not his fault, it's not his fault. Which I agree with that until up until these first 2 games of the season, because he had his chance to prove that it wasn't all his fault, and he showed us basically nothing in these first 2
So
games.
you so you asking me, is it the organization's fault
No, I'm
or
I'm
is
just
it
saying, like,
Bryce?
you know, the speculation and the talk is going on all week. Like at this point, you know, does it matter whose fault it was? Like, you know, was this happening warranted? Like, is this the point where it's just like, do you agree with this happening right now? Based on what I'm trying to say, you know, was those two
By
games
by
enough for you
by
to
them
say by them benching them? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, if I'm going I'm well, there's no if. I'm going strictly by the play on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can get into the organizational stuff like none of us are behind the scenes. Nobody knows truly who's making the decisions, who says one thing, who says another. We don't know what's truly going on behind the scenes. So I'm going to make my decision based on the play. And like you said, last year was an abomination of a year for Bryce Young. You know, when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
you know him, the offensive line, the weapons, I think is highly documented how bad, how horrible the offensive line was. And you know, you always hear me say, if your trenches ain't right, if the line ain't right, your quarterback ain't gonna be right.
Mm-hmm.
And if your quarterback ain't right, it doesn't matter how many weapons you got on the outside. If you can't give them the ball, they are no use to you, right?
Okay.
So we go out this year and we spend $150 million. We sure up the two guard spots. You know, we got two studs at guard now. You know, the biggest question mark for me and some of Panther Nation was Austin Corbett making the move to center, and how was that going to work since he never played center and had the knee injuries? Well, through 2 games, he's arguably been the best center in the league. He hasn't given up any pressures. I think one or two pressures in the first 2 games, and no sacks. So by all Austin Corbett has truly solidified the middle of that offensive line. So the interior of the offensive line is looking good. They're giving Bryce the room to step up in the pocket. They're giving him room to maneuver in the pocket. What I see for Bryce is someone that, in my opinion, my honest opinion, seems like he is still shell shocked from last
Mhm.
year. He's this is even though they didn't play anybody really in the preseason, that one series they did play against some of the backups. Some of the starters for Buffalo was in the game, but there were some backups in there as well.
Mhm.
You know how I felt about you know how I felt about him playing in the preseason. I didn't think he should be out there without his starting line healthy to protect him based off of all the pounding um up pause all the sacks that he took last year. So given that everybody was healthy, um given the added weapons, you finally got another true number one wide receiver in Deontay Johnson. You still had Adam Thielen. You still got Xavier, you drafted Xavier Leggett. Like you said, he looked, in my opinion, worse these first two games than he did last year, even when he was taking all the sacks and all the hits and things
Mhm.
and things like that and suffering going through the 2-15 season. So based on all that, right now, I would say this is what we see in the first two games of the year. I would say is it's a Bryce Young problem, meaning there's a lack of confidence that he has to get back in order, in my opinion, in order for him to become uh an NFL caliber quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And I applaud Dave Canales for coming in and sitting him down now, because there's been a lot of conversation, a lot of takes about the NFL because of the rush to play the number one overall picks and the first round picks of quarterbacks, not giving them the opportunity to sit a year and to learn the game and what have whatnot and whatever. I think Dave Canales recognized it quick and said, you know what? And then this is just me thinking for him. They did you a disservice last year. I'm gonna try to correct the wrong that they did last year and sit you now and give him the opportunity to get that confidence back, because it ain't it don't take the smartest person to realize when you see him on the field, his confidence is shook. It's like somebody has just taken his soul away from him. He look a shell of himself. And you can't play quarterback in the National Football League like that. So off these two games, yeah, that's Bryce. He needs to step back, um, take a hard look at himself and work through whatever it is he's going through mentally off the field.
Okay. I got you. I
Hope
got
that
you.
hope that was short enough for you.
No, but I appreciate it. No. But and I'll say this too. There's been a lot of speculation whether or not this was a Dave Canales call or a David Tepper call. Okay, because the first practice of the week, guess who was out there? David Tepper. Haven't really seen anybody reporting that he's been at practices all this year. Okay, now my thing with
But
this is
to
I
your
don't
point,
hold on. Let me finish. Let me
okay,
finish. I don't think that at this point I don't really think it matters. Okay, I don't
that
think it
part.
matters whether Canales made the call. I don't think it matters whether Tepper made the call, because you can argue both points. You can say that Tepper
Mhm.
made the call because you got a whole stadium full of Panther fans. Well, not full, but the ones that were there, booing the team at halftime, booing them at the end of the game. You got people talking about not getting season tickets next year, or not, or selling the PSLs, or you got all the reports of tickets going for $1.80 something cent. You can go to a Panthers game and sit there and watch it, for less than you would spend to get a beer and a hot dog at the actual stadium. So he,
That
he's
I'm talking
hearing
about a
all
cup
that.
of ice.
Yeah, I know. He's hearing all that, and I think
Yeah,
Tepper's a businessman, and he's thinking this is going to affect his bottom line. So I'm thinking, okay, if that was his decision, that was his decision. But then you got to think about Dave Canales' point too, and like you said, maybe it was hey, I think this is what they should have done for you last year. I'm gonna go ahead and do it now because I think you saw Adam Thielen frustrated. You heard Xavier Legette talk this week about how he was frustrated. He didn't get any
Deontay
targets
Johnson
in this game.
frustrated.
Deontay, I mean, you can tell, but they're all
Yeah,
professionals, and they're not going to throw Bryce under the bus. And they're just like, okay, hey, this is not a Bryce thing. This is a us thing. We all got to do. We all got to do this, that, and the third. But on another hand, I think Tepper was not Tepper, but Canales was getting very, very close to that tipping point where he was going to lose, the locker room, basically. Or
right,
maybe not lose the locker room, but and it's also he's trying to implement his scheme. He's trying to get stuff to work. And right now, Bryce is not giving him anything to say, hey, this works, that works, this worked on
right,
third down, this didn't work. He's going out there and
right,
everything is not working. You know what I mean?
right,
Like he
right.
it's almost like to get a better, grasp of his team and his roster, this thing was necessary as well. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And I think to keep the fan base and to keep everybody, engaged. I mean, I know it's a lot of people, shoot. I started watching Prison Break. I've been binge watching Prison Break. I think, about halfway through the third quarter, I turned that on. And then I was just kind of checking back periodically on the phone. I was like, yeah, all right, yeah, whatever. Caught the replay and stuff. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
but yeah. But we supported Bryce, for since he's been here. Okay. And I'm still not going to not support him. I'm still going to root for him. I still wish him the best. But my next question to you is, Tony, do you think this is the last that we've seen him start for the Panthers?
I don't think so. I don't
Okay.
think so. I don't think it's gonna be like last year when Frank Wright, when they say that he had this quote unquote ankle injury, and nobody remember him hurting his ankle or seeing him in a walking boot or even limping. I think this gonna be more than just one game. I think then this is again my opinion. For Dave Canales, I think the best thing for him to do is to sit him for however long it takes to uh to sit him. And if it's for the rest of the year, then so be it. And like Digger said, unless Dalton get hurt, because he is the number two quarterback. So that there's that. So hopefully, me honestly, I'm praying that Andy Dalton don't get hurt. And the way that that line has stood up and protected for Bryce these first two games, listen, if y'all know anything about Andy Dalton, he can work it inside the pocket when he has time to throw. You talking
Mm-hmm.
about somebody that's probably a 13, 14-year veteran, if I'm not mistaken. You give him time to throw it, he will. So that interior pressure from the offensive line is not getting home to the quarterback, so he should have the time to do his thing.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. Now, speaking of Andy Dalton, okay. So last year, he played against the Seahawks. Okay, threw for 361 yards. I think two or three touchdowns. And
Hmm.
it was from that point on, everybody was like, okay, well, put Dalton in, you see what he can do. He's way better than Bryce, yada yada yada. And I've been hearing a lot of people this week, what do you want from the Panthers this week? And the first comments on a lot of these things, we just want, average quarterback play, competent quarterback play, this, that, and the third. All right. So,
Right.
is it going to be enough for Panthers Nation if Andy Dalton goes out there, throws for 200 or 300 yards, has a couple touchdowns, and we lose?
Well, that's not an offensive problem. That's a defensive problem. If you got a
Okay.
if you got a quarterback that can throw for 300 yards, let's say 250 to
Mm-hmm.
300 yards and two tutties,
Mm-hmm.
and you still lose, that's a defensive problem, not an offensive problem.
Okay. All right. Bet.
Yeah.
All right. So
Because
in
because
go ahead.
perfect example, just real quick, perfect example is that Seattle game from last year.
Mm-hmm.
He threw for damn near 400 yards, 2 or 3 touchdowns. We put up what 27 points, but we
Mm-hmm.
still lost. 27 or 30 points, and we still lost.
Yeah,
That's a defensive problem. That wasn't
this
offense.
is true. Excuse me, y'all. All right. Bet. So my last question about Andy Dalton. What do you what do you expect out of him? Do you expect it to be a complete 180, or do you think it'll take him some time to kind of get in the rhythm, or is it going to be instant results?
Hmm. I don't know about so when you say instant results, you mean like a guaranteed win?
No, no, no. I'm just saying, like, first drive, we're moving the ball. Like, I'm saying, like, it. Do you think he gets out there and shows, what this offense can do, like, out of the gate? You get what I'm saying? Like, he goes out there, starts moving the ball.
Yeah,
We start getting first downs. We start getting more than a couple field goals.
yeah. I can see that. I can see that. I can see Andy Dalton come in and executing. Look, executing the plays that Dave Canales is calling. I think he definitely has enough playing time in this league to where there's no defense that the Raiders can throw at him that he hasn't seen before. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
gotcha.
So I think this is why it's important to have that veteran backup QB in
Hmm.
case something like this happens with your young QB that can come in and steady the ship. I don't know about a complete 180, but I think the offense can be more. They can look more competent, you know what I'm saying, with Andy Dalton back there. And I think you will also get a opportunity to see what this Dave Canales offense can really do when you got a quarterback back there that can orchestrate it.
And look at Bradley Champion's comment. He said, being able to move the ball and do better than 2 and 22 on third down, not expecting a complete 180,
Facts.
just move the ball. It is it
Facts,
is
Bradley.
it's crazy that we've got to the point where like we just want to see the Panthers offense go down the field. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people would be just jumping up and cheering if they got the first possession, got the ball at like the 25 and marched straight down the field, because that's something we haven't seen in quite a while. Quite a while.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yep, that is true. I think these first two games, Bryce has had two drives that were good, one in
Hmm.
each game. And both times where we put points on the board. Other than that, the offense, because he took us downfield when he scored against New Orleans, and
I
then
give him that one.
the first drive of the first drive after halftime against the Chargers when they drove us down and we kicked the field goal.
Eh, true, but okay. Yeah. I got you. I got you. Like I said, I give him one. And the crazy thing, I give him the one. And the wild thing about that is we almost fumbled that touchdown away twice. Okay. Mingo, just by the skin of his teeth, got his foot out of bounds. So that play was dead. Bryce Young was about that far from fumbling the ball at the goal line and that not being a touchdown. So, but like I said,
Mhm.
I'll give him one. I'll give him one. Let me see. Diggy said, "Where's PJ Walker?" Making True Money said, "Seattle." Okay.
Yep, he's in Seattle.
Penalties haven't been kind to the Panthers either. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true. That
they
is
have
true.
not. But it's been a lot of self-inflicted penalties. Who was it? You had JT Sanders with the holding call. I don't know if that was. I think it was the first game.
How are you an offensive lineman? You get called for face masks.
Yeah,
Oh, Icky can tell you. Icky can tell you.
yeah. I mean, Clowney got called for hands to the face against the Chargers. I mean, he knocked Joe Alt's helmet, slap off his head. But
Yeah, yes, he did.
hey,
Yes, he
anything
did.
that can go wrong as far as penalties just about has gone wrong, with us this year. So, we'll
Yeah.
see. Let me see who is this. Bambino 2678. Salute from Raider Nation. Here's to a good, tough game. Good luck, everyone. Hey, appreciate you, Bambino. Hey, same
Appreciate
same
you,
to y'all, man.
Bambino.
Same to y'all. I hope we win, but a good game and everybody stay healthy. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on. The next slide, if I'm not mistaken, yes, Panther Spotlight. Okay, so if y'all new this year, we're going to do a Panther Spotlight every week, and I picked this week's Spotlight. Didn't even tell Tony I was doing this because I even put him, got the podium up there with him. I think it's time for Evero to come to the podium a little bit. All right, and let me go ahead and get my little soliloquy out the way here. I keep hearing everybody saying, that the defense is wore out because the offense doesn't stay on the field. Defense is on the field too long. Okay. Now, last year, I think that was totally the case in a lot of the games. This year, we were down 30-0 at halftime of the Saints game. We were down 20-0 at halftime of the Chargers game. Okay. Now, me personally, I hear about you saying, you wearing the defense down where it gets late in the game. It's first quarter and halftime, and the game is over. All right. The Saints scored on their first possession, a bomb to Rashid Shaheed. Okay.
Right.
The Chargers scored on their first possession with a somewhat similar play to Quentin Johnson, but it wasn't as long of a play. Okay. So my thing is with the defense, we can't stop the run. Okay. Then we're getting burnt in the secondary, whether it be, individually or, the secondary not communicating with each other. Tight ends are having good days against us, whether it was Foster Moreau, what's the man named Juwan Johnson,
Yeah,
Will
Juwan Johnson.
Disley last week. And and now we go up against you got Brock Bowers, you got Michael Mayer, okay, and then Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers. All right. So now my thing is now we can't stop the run. The Raiders are, let me see, their run game hasn't been that great through two games. I think if I'm not mistaken, Demir White has 68 yards through two games. Okay.
Hmm.
But Gardner Minshew is out there, slinging the ball around to Devontae Adams and the rest of the crew. Okay. So my thing is this: is this the game where the Panthers defense, actually shows up? And I'm not going to say they didn't show up completely in the Chargers game because they did hold the charge. It was 6-0, well into the second quarter. Okay, it was 6-0. They scored two touchdowns late in the second quarter. But what do you think is going wrong with the defense? I mean, now me personally, I think it's the 3-4 and the personnel that we have in the 3-4. But what you think, Tom?
I think you hit. I think you hit the nail on the head, man. I've been so disappointed because I was of the mindset that Ivero bringing in guys that have played in his system, played with him in Denver, played with him in L.A., that knew this 3-4 defense was going to be beneficial. But the one thing, and we've talked about this for the past 2 years now, the one thing that never changed was in the middle of that defense, and that was the nose guard position. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
we thought that with the addition of Ashawn Robinson, maybe that would take some pressure off of Shot Tuttle, and he would be able to shine a little bit because it was going to be hard to run against. Well, we thought it was going to be hard to run against Derrick Brown on one side and Ashawn Robinson on the other. Then you bring in a middle linebacker, someone that's downhill, a downhill thumper that I always like to say, in Josie Jewell. So I
Mm-hmm.
thought not that they were going to just turn the valve completely off on opponents' run games, but I thought it was going to look a whole lot better than what it is. And it has got completely worse. Giving up 200 rushing yards per game. Let's
Mm-hmm.
just be exact. 199.5. I just want to round it up to the people and let them know 199.5 to 200 don't really don't really mean a damn thing. That's 200 yards to me. You giving up 200 yards a game. And then what's crazy is in both games, you faced the offense that was running a heavy personnel. They was bringing in the extra linemen, or they were bringing in two tight ends, and they was running 12 personnel. You know,
Hmm.
sometimes 22 personnel is what the Charger was run, and you did not offset that with going heavy on defense, bringing in a third defensive tackle. You know what I'm saying? Or playing a 5 or 6 man front. There was, to me, there was no adjustments there. Shy Tuttle out there looking like he crowd surfing, because that's how the offensive lineman was just lifting him up in the air and just moving him wherever they wanted to go. Um, they done knocked Derek Brown out for the year. You know, now Ashawn ass, he damn near right behind him. It's like, man, come on, give the guys up front some help. Besides
Hmm.
that one, besides that one blown play for the secondary, I honestly think the secondary has been playing okay. I ain't gonna say great, but I think they've been okay. They've been good. Besides that one blown play that Jordan Fuller got out of position, and J.C. Horn got beat for that touchdown against Quentin Johnson.
He had two in
Well,
that
two,
game.
yeah, right.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
My bad.
overall, yeah, I mean, overall I think they've been okay, but that run defense, yeah, I'm completely disappointed in that.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is now, okay, like I said, the Raiders' rushing attack has not been anything to write home about. Now, if we go out here and give up 100 plus, damn near 200 yards rushing to Zamir White and what's a man named behind him, Madison, I do believe is his backup. If we go out here and give up, north of 150 yards to them, it's really going to it's really going to be a sad day. It's really going to be a sad day. And I want to go back to making true money's comment. He said defense did good in the second half of the Chargers game, right? Yeah, they only gave up 6 points in the second half of
Yeah,
the Chargers game. And to speak to what a lot of people are saying, about the offense, and yes, it is true. They only gave up 6 points in the second half, and the offense could not do anything to capitalize on that, like anything at all. We moved the
right.
ball down the field for a field goal, and that was it.
We got two turnovers against the Chargers.
Hmm.
When we got the ball back, we ran 5 plays for a total of 6 yards. One drive was 3 plays minus 2 yards. The next drive was 3 plays for 6 yards. So that's four
Hmm.
yards on 2 drives off 2 turnovers.
Yeah, facts, facts.
Now I'm,
But
I'm gonna let somebody. I'm gonna let y'all make that make sense to me.
yeah. Hmm. But not like we said in this 3-4 scheme, and I know some people will say that 3-4 is not good against the run. But think about Tampa
That's
Bay
not
a
true.
couple years ago. Yeah, think about Tampa Bay a couple years ago. Tampa Bay I think they had the number one run defense in the NFL, and I think that was the year that they won the Super Bowl because I know we went up against them twice and could not run the ball, not much at all. Okay, now if I'm
Think
not
about
mistaken,
Pittsburgh. Think about Pittsburgh right now. Pittsburgh runs a
yeah,
3-4
Pittsburgh's ran 3-4 for quite a while, ain't
forever, forever,
it?
ever. Yeah,
Okay.
forever, ever.
Oh
Yeah.
god, I'm sorry.
So, when people say that, that to me, that's just making an excuse. The fact of the matter is, we don't have the right personnel in the right positions for that 3-4. And CJ, I've been saying that ever since Evero was hired, and when they
Hmm.
first let go Bravion Roy, Marquand McCall, all the hog models, all the big bodies in the middle. It's like you don't need them to be productive and getting 5 or 6 tackles a game, and all this. You need somebody that can take up double teams, drop anchor, hold the point of attack in the middle. If they can shed blocks and get you a tackle or two, that's great. But you do not need them to be moved off that spot. that is the strength of a 3-4 defense. The
Mhm.
nose tackle and the middle linebacker. We got the middle linebacker this year, but we still have yet to do anything with the nose tackle position. And until we do that, we're going to continue to get ran on. I hate to say it, but that's just the facts.
Yeah, it's true. Now I got a question for you. Would you say that one of our biggest issues in this 3-4 scheme is gap control?
That too. And that's
Okay.
and that's on any defense. Three
Mhm.
four, 4-3, 4-2-5, 3-3-5 stack. And I don't care what they run. If you don't have sound gap control, that means your front seven, because every gap should be accounted for on every play, no matter what the
Mhm.
run play is. Every gap is accounted for. So if you got linebackers that's scraping over the top and they over pursuing, they had a gap. When you find two defensive players in the same gap, that means there's a gap open. So yeah, if you do not have sound gap control, that's gonna be a problem, especially if if there's a running back that has the type of vision that can cut back and hit the hole that you're supposed to be in, and
Mhm.
and then they up the field.
Yeah. SC Pace was going. Hey,
What's up,
you missed your
SC?
favorite line, man. Panthers Pope podcast was in the building earlier. So you missed your favorite line, man. But what's going on? How you doing?
Yeah.
Diggett
What's
said
up,
at least the
SC?
Panthers don't have the Pat's turnstile O line. Yeah, hey,
Well, that's true because they.
we'll see. We'll see. You know,
Hey,
keep
so
praying.
hey, dig it so far so good. Let's just continue to
Hmm.
keep hope alive that our offensive line stay healthy.
Yeah, another thing I wanted to say, if you notice, it's especially in this Chargers game, the Panthers would go to like a 4-2-5 kind of a defense where they
Mhm,
had Tuttle and Ashawn Robinson, in the middle, Clowney and Johnson on either side. Then you had Josie Jewell and Shaq Thompson behind them, and then you had five defensive backs. And I saw this shout out to CD with two growls, one roar. He did some film study, and he was noticing like how wide, they were set up apart from each other. Clowney, Tuttle, Robinson, and DJ Johnson. Okay, and then it was
when we played against who?
the Chargers. You looking
Chargers?
at back, yeah, and when they were in
I
that
tell you,
set,
go ahead.
yeah, they were in that set. They were Clowney and Johnson were like, let me see. I guess I can't see my hands going off screen, but they were set out like really wide. Okay, and then he played the clip, and it was a run play. So J.K.
Mhm,
Dobbins got the ball. Now, mind you, if he could have looked to his right and saw the cutback, he probably would have ran all the way in the end zone for a touchdown. But even still, he followed the play and ended up getting about 7, or 8 yards. So and that's another thing. That's why I bring up, the gap control and the personnel on the defense, because like we said, Vita Vea is that type of defensive nose tackle who, you get him a double team, but he's not easily moved out the way. Shot like
mhm,
like you said, Shot Tuttle swag surfing up and down the line of scrimmage. When he gets one or two
mhm.
people on him, and he's out of the play. So, but yeah, but that's what I go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you exactly why that happened.
Hmm.
If you're if the Chargers or any other team is has brought in an extra offensive lineman, right? Whenever
Yeah, yeah.
whenever you bring in an extra offensive lineman, and then you top of that with adding a tight end, so now you got say 11 personnel with extra offensive linemen. So now you got a heavy formation, right? Typically, you probably gonna have an off balance line, whether it's to the left or the right. That's going to stretch your front. If we run
Hmm.
a traditional 3-4, each outside linebacker has to be on the edge of the offensive tackle or whoever that third offensive lineman is, or he's going to be head up with a tight end. So that's why it's important to there's no reason why you should be running a 4-2-5, which for everybody out there, a 4-2-5 is just a nickel package. That's what a 4-2-5 is. Four down linemen, two linebackers, five DBs, whether it's the corner or the safety. That's just what it is. That's why it's called nickel. There's no reason to be in a nickel package when you have heavy personnel where they running 12 personnel, or they got
Mm-hmm.
the extra offensive lineman, because that's going to stretch the outside linebackers. Now they are officially moved over one, possibly two gaps over than where they would be on a when you got a standard 5-man offensive front.
Mm-hmm.
And every time they did that, Ivero didn't do anything to counter that. That there's no reason in God's green earth you should have 5 DBs on the field when the offense is running a heavy personnel.
I agree. I completely agree. Completely agree. But we'll see come Sunday. Now I got to give the Panthers defense a little bit of credit, because they did hold the Chargers. You know, for it was 6-0 for a while. The Chargers scored 2 touchdowns late, and they held them to 6 points in the second half. Okay, but by that time it was, when they got to 6 points, it was 26-3. Um, but I think the thing is now, maybe that'll turn around a little bit for the defense if we can actually put some points, up with the opportunities that hopefully we'll get on Sunday. Because the thing is, there is nothing for the opposing head coach to make him change his game plan. Okay. And if they look at the film for the Panthers the past 2 games, game plan for me would be easy. We're going to run the ball and we're going to set the tempo. Now you got the Raiders is coming in. Now, like I said, their run game hasn't been anything to write home about. But if the Panthers go out here and let these guys run up and down the field on us, it's still going to say a lot about our defense. Okay, and then on top of that,
Mhm.
you have a Devontae Adams to deal with. Michael Meyer, how you say it, Mayer, Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers, and I think my man Bambino was talking about Trey Tucker. If I'm mistaken, he made a comment that said that it'll probably be if we're giving up deep passes like that, it might be a good day for Trey Tucker with the with the Raiders. So, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Oh, Doug said
Um.
also I need to see some more sacks along with pressures. Facts. Facts.
I, so the NFL is always has always been a copycat league, right? When teams
Mm-hmm.
go back and watch tape, they got enough tape on you, and they've seen what's been successful against you from other teams. Now, I don't expect the Raiders to line up in 22 personnel or 12 or 13 personnel, nothing
Mm-hmm.
like that, and run the ball like the Chargers and the Saints did, but they can do some of the things that those guys did, because for the fact that we're not good in the run game. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
not good in the run game, they're going to run at you. They're going to lean on you all game long. Just like with the Chargers, they kept leaning on us, leaning on us, leaning on us. It was looking good at first. We was holding them to three to a field goal, 6 points here. But then the dam break. You know what I'm saying? Now next thing you know, they don't put up 20. In each game this year, whether we play the Saints or the Chargers, the opposing team has marched down the field on the first drive and scored. That's not the
Mm-hmm.
offense fault. That's the defense fault. That's the first drive.
Yeah.
Second drive, they go down and score, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. That's not on the offense. That's the defense. So at some point, we have to put the blame for the defense where it needs to be. They're just not good in the first quarter or the fourth quarter or in between. They just have not been good. Period.
All right. Bet. I can agree with that, but hopefully, we'll hopefully the Panthers will give us something to write home about, as far as the defense go this week against the Raiders. But we'll see. We'll see Sunday at 4 o'clock. All right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So each week we do an enemy spotlight, and for me this week it's going to be Max Crosby, defensive end for
The
the Raiders.
demon.
Yeah. So, and Diggett made a comment earlier talking about even if Max doesn't play, his tattoos could still get past Icky. That's just disrespectful. Downright disrespectful.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
I
This one.
think Max matchup is gonna be on Taylor Moan. I think he primarily comes from that
Mhm.
right side. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if
Well,
he travels back and forth too much. I could be
yeah.
wrong.
Well, we'll see. Okay. Now, I will give the offensive line a lot of credit because now Bosa had 1 sack last week, but it was 1 sack. Okay. It's
Mhm.
Joey Bosa. I can deal with them giving up 1 sack. If they only gave up 1 sack to Max Crosby this week, I would count that as a win. You know, if it's Icky or Moulton, whoever's guarding him, not guarding him, but whoever's responsible for him, I would be happy with 1 sack for Max Crosby. Okay, but
Hey,
this needs.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead, son. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, but I was gonna say, this is probably who needs to be at the top of the offensive line's game plan this week would be, Max Crosby. Because the one thing that we have seen is that our offensive line has been able to, give Bryce a clean pocket. And if they can continue that,
Mhm.
okay, they can continue that with Andy, and Andy can sit back there and distribute the ball, and find the receivers that, Bryce hasn't been able to find so far this year, we might be able to do something. But if it's one, possible kink in that chain, it's Max Crosby.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And don't discount Christian Wilkins, also the defensive tackle that came in from
True.
Miami. But
Hmm.
I like that matchup with him and Robert Hunt. So he would have his hands full with the interior of our offensive line. So I don't I don't I don't foresee him causing or wrecking havoc for the defensive line. But Max Crosby, yeah, he's a problem no matter who he's going against, whether it's Taylor, Moten, or Icky. He's a problem for sure. But I will say this: Joe Alt stood tall against him when they played the Chargers. Joe Alt put the clamps on him.
Okay. All right. Cool. 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 Now, do you think that we'll see? You think we'll see any more like not exotic blitzes, but do you think that they might copy the Saints game plan? Send some people, or do you think with Andy back there, we'll see more of him changing the play calls and recognizing, hey, this man is coming. You go block him. You think that? I know I'm kind of switching subjects here.
I don't think the defense will come after Andy Dalton like they did Bryce Young because he is such a savvy veteran. He can
Hmm.
recognize these defensive schemes. Well, I ain't gonna say a lot of teams. What you have to be mindful for is what these teams do pre-snap to post snap. Cause they can show you one thing, they can show you
Hmm.
cover one, and then next thing you know, they're in the cover three. Or they can show you they can show you something that looks like a zero blitz. But depending on where the safety is lined up in that zero blitz, you can tell whether he's going to drop off or if he's coming. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So
Yeah.
it's important you got to know where your hot reads are. That's the communication between the quarterback and the wide receivers. Because if a zero blitz do come, you got about 1.5 seconds to get the ball out your hands, or you about to have a bad day. Okay, so I think, like I said, I told you this earlier when we was talking on the phone. Andy Dalton, there's not a defense that they could throw at him that he has never seen. You know what I'm saying? He's been in this league 14 plus years now, if I'm not mistaken. I know he was with Cincinnati for at least 10. So there's not a defense that they can throw at him that he hasn't seen. So I don't think they'll be too quick to come after him and not be afraid to be picked apart if they did.
Okay. Gotcha. Now,
Yeah.
comment by Mr. Hunky Dory. He said Raiders have a stunt blitz for Crosby where he at the snap shifts stunt block to the right and he can come through that center gap. He has gotten many pressures and sacks we need to watch for. Okay.
I'm pretty
Uh
sure they have. I know you're talking about a wraparound. So
Gotcha.
it's not a stunt. A stunt is typically when a defensive end come over 1 to 2 gaps. That's a stunt. But when he coming over through that center position, that's more like a wraparound. Because if you look at it on tape, it's like he's wrapping around the
Hmm.
defensive side of the ball. Yeah.
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 And what's up, Josh? Look at, he said, I agree, Tony. Defenses will have to play us differently. I mean,
Yeah.
isn't that nice to hear? Our defenses have to play us differently. Instead of, you know what, we're
Yeah.
just going to blitz the hell out of them, and we're going to blitz the hell out of them. We're going to pack the box and dare them to do anything. That's basically
Well,
how we've been played for the past 2 games.
that would be a bad day for them if they play
Yeah,
Andy Dalton like that.
yeah. And getting the run game established will make everything okay. I hope so.
Sticking to it, dig it, getting it established and sticking to it. Because we did not
Yes.
do that against the Chargers. We was getting 4-5 yards per carry and did not stick to it. I hate to keep bringing up the man name, but hey, when Steve Rooks was here, we would ran that mud like 45 times.
Yeah. What was it? What was it? One series where I think Chuba had hauled off I don't know if it was a first down run, but he was getting like 4 or 5 yards of carry, and it got down to like 3rd and 2, and then we throw
Yeah,
the ball.
the first series,
Yeah.
and then Bryce throws an incomplete.
Yeah. That was that the one to Trimble where the ball got knocked away from him, I believe. I think that's what
I
maybe it was
don't
that first
remember.
year. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah.
Okay. But all right. All right. So that is my enemy spotlight. We're gonna go to Tony's enemy spotlight, Mr. Devontae Adams himself.
Yes, yes, yes. Arguably one of the top 3 to 5 wide receivers in the league for a while now. Mr. Consistency. No matter if he was in Green Bay or with the Raiders as we speak. His stats so far this year: 14 receptions, 169 yards with 1 touchdown. With Devontae Adams, he is their true X #1 wide receiver. You do not want him to get off against you.
Mm-hmm.
Me, if I was a defense coordinator, I would double him all game. I would put J.C. Horn on their #2 wide receiver, man to man, and I would double Devontae Adams with a corner and a safety. Make sure there is always a safety rolled over to whatever side of the field he's on, and try to take him out of the game that way. I see a lot of times where people try to put, for whatever reason, you try to play man with Devontae Adams, that typically 9 times out of 10 ain't good for whoever your cornerback is, because at some point in time in the game, he's going to get loose. I don't think that
Yeah.
from what I've seen, I've never seen just one corner just be able to just take him complete out the game. So I would double him all game long, no matter what side of the field he's on. I'm always going to roll a safety over the top, corner underneath, and I put J.C. Horn on their #2 wide receiver, man to man. And now you got to in my opinion, you have to go to whoever your third wide receiver is. But they also have a tight end by name of Brock Browers that they have to watch out for. The rookie from Georgia, 2-time Maxi Award winner. He's doing his thing this year. I think last week he had 6 receptions for like 95, 98 yards, something like that. So yeah, Brock Bowers, they gonna have to deal with him as well.
Okay. And
Yeah,
I
Mr. Hunky
agree.
Dory. Mr. Hunky Dory is right. He has the ability to turn and catch even with excellent coverage. That's why I said,
Mm-hmm.
man, you have to. Hey, I would double him all game long. Take my chances that way. Put I don't know who their #2 receiver is, but I will put J.C. Horn on that #2 receiver, man to man, and take my chances.
I got you. And it's funny you say Mr. Consistency, and it's wild because for a couple of years in a row, I always had Devontae Adams on my fantasy team, and I swear he was consistent except for the weeks that I really needed him. When 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 I needed an extra extra 5 or 6 points, he wouldn't score a touchdown. He have a game where he have like 10
Mhm.
catches, for 90 yards and wouldn't score. But that being said, that's just my not final, but my fantasy football, woes that have been coming out over the years. I had one good run in fantasy football and it hasn't gone
Mhm.
right ever since. But yeah.
And Doug
Okay.
said Michael Mayers is their #2 wide receiver. So that's their big tight end that they got last year out of Notre
Mm,
Dame. Remember,
yeah.
I was thumping for us to get Michael Mayers
Mm-hmm.
if he failed to us. So I forgot about Michael Mayers. So you're probably gonna see a lot of 12 personnel with the Raiders. You're gonna see one running back, two tight end sets. So Brock Byers is more of your pass catching tight end. Michael Mayers is more of your blocking tight end, but he can also
Yeah, he can
what
catch
wide
too.
receiver
He
Mayers?
no, when you said number two
You
wide
talking about
receiver.
Jacoby Myers? Well, Doug, I'm gonna need you to spell the name correctly so I know who you're talking about. Cause you said Mayers. If you talking about Jacoby Myers, yeah, Bambino, you spelled it wrong too. Jacoby Mayers, Jacoby Mayers. Damn, Bambino.
Hey, look, give Bambino, give him a pass. You know, it's his first time here. I do
Uh,
believe. Give him a pass.
that's it. No, I can't give him his pay. That's his team. He should know. He, he said I can't spell.
It's all good, cuz it's all good.
Yeah. Well, okay, so yeah, I forgot about Jacoby Myers. So yeah, I put J.C.
Mm-hmm.
Horn on Jacoby Myers, man to man. I would double Devontae Adams, whatever side of the field he is, roll coverage to that side, man underneath, man on top. Hey, just take my chances.
I feel you. I feel you. All right. Well, cool. Well, that is our enemy spotlight for the night. Mine was Max Crosby and Tony's was Devontae Adams. All right.
Yeah,
So I'm going to keep putting this slide up here, and I'm just going to leave these keys to the game the same every week until we actually, do. Now, I will give the Panthers credit. We did win the turnover battle last week, 2-1. It
yeah,
could have been 3-1, but if that one play, what's his name, Herbert, his knee was down. It was kind of one of those,
hmm,
like bang bang plays, and his knee was
yeah,
down, and the ball, and they knocked the ball out damn near at the same time. And then I think, who was it? One of our, oh God, was it J.C. Horn picked the ball up, and recovered the fumble, but they called it back. But so I will say, I give him credit for the turnovers last week. But one thing that I guess I'm leading this on here: stop the run, establish the run, okay? Because our run game has shown flashes, but our coach has not shown the ability to stick with the run. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that, we've been down 20-0 and 30-0 at halftime too. So sometimes it's
yep,
not like, it's not like you can be that what he say, stingy with the run, not stingy, but what did Canale say he was gonna be with the run game? Um Not stingy, but you know what I mean. He was going to be he was going to run the ball a lot. Let me just say it like that. I
yeah,
forgot the exact word he
yeah,
used, but we have to establish the run game, execution. You know, hopefully Andy Dalton can help with that. QB pressure, okay, because Doug did make a stubborn. Thank you, Bradley. He said we are going to be stubborn with the run game. Thank you. That's it.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. That's
Thank you.
right.
Hold on, let me see. Okay, go back to Doug's comment here. He said, "Let's be honest, because when we played Gardner last year, what did he really do against our defense? Not too much. Bryce Young threw 2 pick sixes in that game, so yeah, he didn't do too much. But I'm not going to discount Gardner Minshew right now. I did get on here a few lives ago, and I thought we would win the this game, and I was like, hey, they got Gardner Minshew, so I ain't worried about him. But if he gets out here and plays like he's been playing, and our defense play like they've been playing, then Gardner Minshew has a good chance of going home that night with a W, and we got a long flight back, with the L. So my thing is,
Facts.
if our defense doesn't do what they're supposed to do, Gardner Minshew or not, he still got he still has the capability, and he still has the offensive weapons at the tight end spot, wide receiver spot, and if our run defense doesn't, show up, he'll have a weapon in the running back spot too. Because just say they get out there, just say we get out there and Zamir White rushes for 100 yards against us. And I think Doug, you said earlier
Hmm.
he hasn't had a 100-yard rushing game yet. I don't know if that's this year or his career or what, but yeah. Let me go
That's
back
crazy.
down here.
kind of upset with Zamir White still. Yeah, if y'all don't know who Zamir White is, that is Scotland County High School's own from Lawrenceburg, North Carolina. Zamir
Okay.
White was the number one rated running back coming out of high school, and he came down to two schools, North Carolina and Georgia, and chose
Mm,
Georgia. But yes, he's right down the road from Laurinburg, Scotland County High
okay.
School.
Cool. Hey, and Bambino said, "Good luck, fellas. You got a sub from me, but I have to go Raiders." Hey, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you.
I
Appreciate you,
ain't mad
Bambino.
at
We
you,
thank
man.
you for that.
Appreciate you, Bambino.
Mm-hmm. Miss Hunky Dory said we need early momentum this week. Set the tone in the first 2 minutes. That's a damn fact. That is a damn
Yeah.
fact right there. Antonio McClanahan, Panther Pride, keep pounding. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Diggy said put Blackshear in instead of Miles. You know what? I'm not opposed to that. It seems like Blackshear's main focus is going to be kick and punt returns. I don't know if I've seen him on offensive play or in for offensive play this season. Somebody correct me if
Like
I'm wrong, but I don't
I
know if I've
haven't
seen him.
seen him. I haven't seen him
Mm,
taking out. I have not seen him take one snap at running back.
okay. But yeah, man, this is definitely gonna be an interesting one. Definitely gonna be an interesting one. But yeah, y'all, this is gonna be a short live for us tonight, man. Tony, got anything you want to say to the people?
No, man. Hey, let's see if we can. I'm not gonna say completely turn things around Sunday, but let's see if we can look like a competent offense, if we can move the ball, if we can potentially put up points against the Raiders. Um, I would love. It probably won't happen, but if it did, I would be happy to. I would be happy to see it. I would love to see Carolina get the lead, and I would love to see what we do with the lead defensively. What kind of scheme are we going to put out there for the team when we have the lead? And that things, and if the run game is working and we can establish the run game, do we stick to it? You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
98% of what was going wrong offensively, I would have to say that was Bryce. But
Mm-hmm.
2% of it, I'm gonna put on offensive play calling.
Okay. I can agree with that. I
Yeah.
can agree with that. All right. Earl said we getting the win this week. See, Miles is a mo killer, momentum killer. Josh said keep pounding, and Antonio,
Keep
yes
pounding,
sir,
Josh.
yeah. But yeah, man, I hope for some hope after this game this weekend. That's what I want. I'm hoping
Yeah.
for some hope. You know, do I want us to go out and win? Yes, I want us to go out and win. Okay, but I think Panther Nation, the first game of the season, it's just like we wanted something to be able to be like, okay, well, you know what? We might have got our ass beat, but this looked good. That has some potential. This has some promise. And we saw none of that on both sides of the ball. I think my Raheem Blackshear outgained the offense with the damn punt and kick return. I'm sorry, with the kick returns. Because shoot, they didn't punt until damn near the fourth quarter. I want to say
Hmm.
he had 100 and something yards with just kick returns. So, I
Wow.
want to I hope to have some hope by the end of this game. That's what I'm going to say. Andy's the quarterback now. Hey, he's got my support 110%. I hope you go out there and light it up. And Mr. Hunky Dory said, I wanted to see a competitive, aggressive, and shit talking team this week. No more heads down or look of defeat by halftime. Full throttle aggression while the game like Steve Wilkes used to be. Yes. Yes. Because I can't lie. At halftime, I heard the boos on the screen and I was sitting on my couch booing them as well. So I hope to God that I don't have to do that again this Sunday because I have no problem doing
You
it.
you were booing the team, man.
I sure was. I I
Where's the
sure I mean I
spirit?
mean I mean loud. It was funny because my kids were looking at me like Daddy, you really booing the Panthers? And I was like, do you see this? I was like, I was like, well, you see this? And we at home too. I was like, hell yeah, I'm booing them. But yeah,
Wow.
man. But yeah. But hey, but that's it for us tonight, y'all. And as always, we appreciate everybody that's rocking with us tonight. As always, if you haven't, you can check us out on all social media at Two Fans in the Stands and over on Twix. That's a mixture of Twitter and X, as we like to call it. You can catch us right here at Two Fans ITS. Okay, so if you have not, please hit that subscribe button, like the stream, share it. We're steadily approaching our goal of 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. And we also want to get to our goal of 1,000 followers over on X. All right. And as always, y'all, I'm going to leave y'all with 3 things. Number 1, y'all be good. Number 2, y'all be safe. And number 3, as always, pray for a win and keep pounding, y'all. We'll see you.